Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Boise Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. I am Wren Emerson-Paige. I also go by Jem, and I am your Director of Family Ministries, and today I am your celebrant joyfully for our service. We are a community gathered here to make love visible in the world. We seek to build a compassionate community that nurtures spirits, lifts hearts, and broadens minds. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. To those who are joining us today, in the spirit of curiosity, love, and justice, you are welcome. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever your life's journey, your presence is a blessing here. We are glad you are here. To those joining us virtually, let's give everyone in our room, let's give a big wave to our virtual fellows. Welcome. We are so glad to know that you are out there. Welcome again to everybody here in person. In the spirit of our mission to build a beloved community centered around justice, equity, compassion, and interconnection, let us take a moment to acknowledge our gathering upon native lands.
We come from and live on land considered sacred by indigenous people known as Bannock, Paiute, Shoshone, and many other tribes that lived here sustainably for thousands of years. We strive to understand and reframe our responsibilities to land, to community. In the spirit of respectful reciprocity, we honor the original caretakers of this place. We affirm the relationships we have to each other, including our relations to animals and insects that inhabit the water, land, and sky. We recognize the relationship, the responsibility to quiet creeks, rushing rivers, rustling grasses, to sprawling forests, to the brilliant palettes of the sky, to the roots that grip the soil, to the earth beneath our feet. Water is life. To all of us affected by the boarding school revelations, may we be granted compassionate understanding. May we find healing in the harm that lives in our history. We honor and support the right to sovereignty for our indigenous neighbors. We acknowledge that a land acknowledgement is not enough. Now, let us breathe together. Let us take a moment to enjoy the delicious air, the oxygen provided by tree. Hold to the warm light of sun. Consider the solidity, the groundedness of earth. Flow with refreshing, life-giving water. Let the mud settle. Find clarity of mind and spirit. Welcome our ancestors. Enjoy this present moment together.
To our newcomers among us today, thank you for joining. For those newcomers who are joining virtually, introduce yourself in the chat and be on the lookout for a link to our newcomer form, where you can learn more about us and the many ways to get connected and get involved. For those newcomers joining us in person, we hope you'll stick around after the service to introduce yourselves and to take part in our fellowship in the courtyard, even on this rainy day, now featuring lawn games and shade tents or rain tents. You can find a link to our newcomer forum that I mentioned a moment ago using the QR codes on the bookmarks on your seat. Our beautiful new coffee area is now open for to-go coffee. Please feel free to grab a cup of coffee on your way home or take it outside for that fellowship in the courtyard. As a reminder, masks are still required at all times indoors. We have a lot happening, from book groups to adult classes to meditation to neighborhood pods, both in person and online. I have a few announcements I want to highlight for our whole community. After you have grabbed your coffee and snack, please join us at the bridge in the north side of our grounds for a special post-service ceremony. We will be celebrating our graduating high school seniors and blessing our backpacks. For those who are joining virtually, we will live stream the service for you to see. Costin Frederick's memorial will be held Monday, May 30th, tomorrow, at 7 p.m. here in our sanctuary, in person only. Bylaws voting is now open. All voting members, you will find a link to your ballot in your inbox, your email inbox. Call our office if you have any questions about accessing that digital ballot. Next week is our annual flower communion. Please bring a flower or bouquet to share before the service on Sunday or during a special drop-off time Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. It is our practice to donate 25% of the unpledged Sunday offerings to support our social justice ministries. For the month of May, our partner is Brown Like Me. This local organization delivers programming guiding Black children and youth to see the beauty in being Black through activities that build self-esteem, expose them to Black culture, connect them to Black mentors and community members, leaders, and just as importantly, deliver opportunities to just be around friends who look like them. You can make financial gifts to our congregation online through our website at boiseuu.org, and you will find a bright red Give button in the upper hand side of the webpage. That is linked in our chat for our virtual members, as well as in the QR code bookmarks. Find the Vanco app on your smartphone for a simple way to make donations. Checks can be dropped off in our lock boxes here on either side of the vestibules, or they can be sent through mail. Your generosity is a vital part of sustaining this community and is greatly appreciated. Our spiritual theme for the month of May is Nurturing Beauty, and today's service explores the role that community has in nurturing children and youth. We ask, what foundational experiences do we want the next generation to carry with them into adulthood? How do we build trust in one another to know that we are seen in love? This family ministry service celebrates the youth of our community, the bounders and the bridgers, and features their voices as well as their parents and the coming of age mentors who have joined them on their journey this year.
As we enter into this time of worship, let us take a moment to breathe together. Fill your body with breath, knowing that our breath connects us to each other, to our bodies, and to our planet. Our breath offers us the opportunity for stillness, to tune in to our spiritual center, to listen deeply to our heart's own longing. Thou art the song of my heart in the morning. Thou art the dawn of truth in my soul. Thou art the dew of the roses adorning, thou art the woven whole. Thine is the grace to be steadfast in danger, thine is the peace that none can destroy, thine is the face of the need-riven stranger, thine are the wings of joy. Thou art the deep, to the deep in me calling, thou art a lamp where my feet shall tread. The way is steep past the peril of falling, thou art my daily bread. Thine be the praise of my spirit uplifted. Thou art the sea to each flowing stream. Thine be the days that are gathered and sifted. Thou art the deathless dream.
There's a town where it's carved into the earth, and some are always singing la da 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 to keep from being heard. I was born there, right around this spot, where the only thing you know is la da 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 da, whether you like the song or not. You can find me in town on any street, wandering towards the sound of your voice. You can find me on the street anytime, looking for you, singing to myself. So if you're lonely, just a face among the crowd, well, the only thing you know is la da 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 da. You know I'll come around. You can find me in town on any street, wandering towards the sound of your voice. You can find me on the street in any town, looking for you. Do you need a friend? 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 La da da da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. Whether you like the song or not.
Each week we light our flaming chalice, a symbol of our free faith, a beacon of hope, love, and justice. We joined with thousands of other Unitarian Universalisms lighting chalices today in churches, homes, and virtual spaces, worship spaces, reminding us that we are connected to one another and to a larger community of faith and love. For those joining us virtually, you are invited to light your chalice with us in this morning, then share in the chat where your chalice is lit in this morning.
With our collective chalices lit in all our spaces, we offer you this call to worship from Elizabeth Mount called Co-Regulation. From our very first breath, we reach out. Co-regulation, not self-regulation, is in our nature. We find our cues from the sun and the moon, from each parent and caregiver. We find our place in this great turning planet. By turning to one another, generation to generation, we awaken to the dawn and fall asleep at the evening's end. Our life's journey is part of something greater, something simple, something divine. A flame cannot be lit without a spark. A life cannot begin without the air. And we cannot begin to find ourselves without love. May we reach out to one another. May we offer love and nurturing care. May we join together in celebration of the interdependence of our lives. Come, let us rejoice in the community we create together. Come, let us worship together.
All right, friends, I invite you to get cozy in your seats, settle down with me as we come into our time for all ages this morning. There are lots of reasons to feel different. Whatever it is, we can celebrate our bravery when we go forth, even when we feel like an outsider. And sometimes when we reach out and begin to share our story, others will be happy to meet us halfway. Our story this morning is The Day You Begin by Jacqueline Woodson and illustrator Rafael Lopez. It's going to help us explore how we can put our values into action with that bravery even in the face of our own difference and feeling like an outsider. It'll help us explore our first principle, embracing the inherent worth and dignity of every person, even in our differences, and of acting with justice and kindness in all our relationships, including with ourselves. Let's listen. The Day You Begin by Jacqueline Woodson and illustrator Rafael Lopez. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you. Maybe it will be your skin, your clothes, or the curl of your hair. There will be times when no one understands the way words curl from your mouth, the beautiful language of the country you left behind. My name is Rigoberto. We just moved here from Venezuela. And because they don't understand, the classroom will fill with laughter until the teacher quiets everyone. Rigoberto, from Venezuela, your teacher says so soft and beautifully that your name and homeland sound like flowers blooming the first bright notes of a song. There will be times when the words don't come. Your own voice, once huge, now smaller, when the teacher asks, "What did you do last summer? Tell the class your story." "We went to France," Chayla says. "These shells came from a beach in Maine." A boy named Jonathan holds out a jar filled with tiny shells so fragile they look like they'll turn to dust in your own untraveled hands. "My whole family went to India, Spain, South Carolina, each souvenir a small triumph of a journey. Their travels go on and on." And as you stand in front of that room, you can only remember how the heat waved as it lifted off the curb, and your days spent at home caring for your little sister, who made you laugh out loud and hugged you hard at nap time. You can only remember the books you kept on reading long after she had fallen asleep. And in that room, where no one else is quite like you, you'll look down at your own empty hands and wonder, what good is this when other students were flying and sailing and going somewhere? There will be times when the lunch your mother packed for you is too strange, too unfamiliar for others to love as you do. When even your own friend Nadia will wrinkle her nose and say, "What's in there anyway?" And you'll wonder how she doesn't see the rice beneath the meat and kimchi. You'll wonder why she doesn't remember that rice is the most popular food in the world. There will be times when the climbing bars are too high, the run too fast and far, the game isn't one you can ever really play. I don't want him on our team. You can watch. Maybe you can have a turn later. There will be times when the world feels like a place that you're standing all the way outside of. And all that stands beside you is your own brave self, steady as steel and ready, even though you don't yet know what you're ready for. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you until the day you begin to share your stories. My name is Angelina, and I spent my whole summer with my little sister, you tell the class, your voice stronger than it was a minute ago. We read books and told stories, and even though we were right on our block, it was like we got to go everywhere. Your name is like my sister's, Rigoberto says. Her name is Angelina too. And all at once, in a room where no one else is quite like you, the world opens itself up a little wider to make space for you. This is the day you begin to find the places inside your laughter and your lunches, your books, your travel and your stories, where every new friend has something a little like you, and something else so fabulously not like you at all.
May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
Love Letter by Natalie Handel. I'd like to be a shrine so I can learn from people's prayers and the story of hearts. I'd like to be a scarf so I can place it over my hair and understand other worlds. I'd like to be the voice of a soprano singer so I can move through all borders and see them vanish with every spellbinding note. I'd like to be a light so I can illuminate the dark. I'd like to be water to fill bodies so we can gently float together indefinitely. I'd like to be a lemon to be zest all the time, or an olive tree to shimmer silver on the earth. Most of all, I'd like to be a poem to reach your heart and stay.
It is a great honor for me. I'm not going to cry. It is a great honor for me to introduce our Bounder youth, who you've heard 3 of their voices so far. These young people have dedicated time throughout this past school year to join meetings, to take part in sharing and discussing our values and our faith, to share their own thoughts and experiences with us and one another. We have Ronnie and Jethro Alfalter and their parents, Jennifer and Aaron. We have Xander Trexler and his parents, Wes and Elizabeth, who are joining us through Zoom today. And Audrey and Veronica Richmond and their parents, Jamie and Kevin. These are some truly dedicated, thoughtful, and funny people, and I'm so glad that we have had our time together this year. We are living and connecting in fundamentally different times than 2, 5, 10 years ago. After a disruption to our programming schedule in all of our lives, our emphasis in returning to in-person meetings has been on building quality connections, meeting each other where we are at in our lives. Our coming-of-age mentors, Debra Smith and Sandy Cruz, who were more than game when our youth and their families made the decision to travel to GA this June instead of Boston, and we'll be joining them there. Even in the most busy of times, we can always make space to prioritize what we need right now. And for this year, for us, it means feeling the power of Unitarian Universalism alive today and connecting with our fellow UUs in Portland. From reimagining what makes our principles matter to our current lives, to learning how to assess actions along a continuum of oppressive versus anti-oppressive actions, to discussing our power of influence and how injustice interrupts our social connections, to dedicating time to simply be together and join our larger community in our celebrations. We have had a full and joyous year with these 5 particular youth and all those who joined our meetings, and we are honored to bless our young people now.
Dear ones, if we believed in a traditional God, I could offer you a traditional blessing, like the one that Golda sings to her daughters in the Broadway musical Fiddler on the Roof. I would sing, "May the Lord protect and defend you. May he always shield you from pain." But life is not a Broadway musical, and as comforting as it might be to think so, we do not, most of us, believe in a deity that protects and defends. Shield us from pain, not the human condition that I know. So here is my wish, my blessing, my hope for you. May you always find people, your community. You are, each of you, amazing individuals, articulate, deep thinking, morally grounded, and independent. Now, some say the world is in its end times. The world is always in its end times. Some say our country is foundering. Some say the answer is defensiveness, walls, and armaments. But you know that the world's strife and pain is best confronted not with fear and firearms, but within the arms of a loving community wherein strength and solidarity are nurtured. All your life, may you know the love of such a community. May you be encouraged, comforted, and challenged by it. May you grow beyond its boundaries and learn to move on. May the beloveds you found there love you fiercely, and may they learn when it's time to let you go. But may you always move toward community. May there always be one nearby and big-hearted enough to embrace you and your ever-growing soul.
tough act to follow. How do I give a blessing to you five? You who have taught me so much this year and given to me so very much. I have worked with many coming-of-age groups. Each was different, and all were filled with wonderful young people, some of whom I'm seeing here today. The bridging. But none have taught me like you five have. You taught me about disability vocabulary and that phrase we just heard, anti-oppressive action. Not just being okay with, but anti-oppressive action. You taught me your pronouns and about sex and gender, anti-oppressive action. Jethro, you taught me how to ride your Razor skateboard in the north parking lot. Xander, you shared the antics of your pet bird and brought me such joy and made me laugh. Ronnie, you're the one I knew from before. I am so thrilled to see you growing into such an articulate and caring young person. Audrey, Veronica, siblings, both smart, both caring, both motivated. They're just the same. Not. You reminded me that siblings do not have to be the same. And I'm really talking about huggers versus non-huggers. Ask first. You all grew so much this difficult year. I'm not going to pretend the next few years will always be easy for you. They may not be. But my blessing to you is the knowledge, the faith, that you are capable and competent, and that I, all of BUUF, all of this community, all of the many communities that you belong to now or you will find in the future, we have your back. We are here for you. May you be well. May you be safe. May you always find a loving community. So may it be.
May you be blessed with good friends and learn to be a good friend to yourself. Journeying to that place in your soul where there is love, warmth, and feeling. May this change you. May it transfigure what is negative, distant, or cold within your heart. May you be brought into real passion, kindness, and belonging. My hope for my children is that they will have experiences that affirm that they are loved, they are worthy of love, capable of handling the challenges of adulthood, and discover a passion for something positive they can give back to the world. I already see good values emerging in them. Jethro is thoughtful and cares deeply for the people around him. He appreciates humor and attempts to dispel tense situations with a joke. Ronnie speaks passionately about social justice issues almost daily. Excuse me. And makes an extra effort to connect with each of us family members in a one-on-one basis in helping with running errands or fixing cars and such. I'm excited for the path ahead of both of them.
I am standing in for our Trexler friends in this blessing that I forgot to cite. This is, we're starting, each of the parents are reading from a blessing from John O'Donohue for belonging and for friendship. May you treasure your friends. May you be good to them, be there for them, and receive all the challenges, truth, and light you need. May you never be isolated, but know the embrace of your anam cara, your soul friend. May you arise each day with a voice of blessing whispering in your heart. May there be kindness in your gaze when you look within.
May you listen to your longing to be free. May you find a harmony between your soul and your life.
May the sanctuary of your soul never become haunted. May you know the eternal longing that lives in the heart of time.
May you never place walls between the light and yourself. May you allow the wild beauty of the invisible world to gather you, mind you, and embrace you in belonging.
Audrey and Veronica. You both make life so much richer, more complex, beautiful, and silly. I love you so incredibly much. I hope you learn a lot about the UU faith, UU history, and make a lot of meaningful connections and friends, and have a blast at General Assembly. I love you both so much.
Girls, it seems, not only does it seem like yesterday or not that long ago that we would pile in the car each morning to drive to Riverstone together, but honestly, it really wasn't that long ago, even though it was preschool and kindergarten for both of you. You both have grown so quickly into empathetic, compassionate, caring, wonderful, brilliant young ladies. And I hope for you as you go to General Assembly next month and off to college in the fall, that you continue to grow and make your place in this world. There is so much of a need for people like you to help bring the world together in a community and in love. I love you both.
Each week, we take time to acknowledge the many joys among us and to grieve our many sorrows and losses so that we might lift the burden for each other and receive the blessings of this community. A reminder that you can submit your joys and sorrows online each week via the link on the website. We invite our virtual community to share their joys and sorrows in the chat. It is through our sharing with one another that we forge deep bonds of community and connection. We hold the following sorrows gently. Longtime BUUFer Helen Tomlinson passed away on Thursday, May 27th, in the Grace Memory Care Center on State Street. If you are holding someone in your heart this morning with sorrow, I invite you to speak their name aloud into this community of love, that we may hold them with you. Now join me in a brief chant as you are able. I'll sing it the first time. We are not alone, we are wrapped up in love. We are wrapped up in love. Oh, we are not alone, we are wrapped up in love. We are wrapped up in love. Oh, we are not alone. We are wrapped up in love. We are wrapped up in love. Oh. And we hold the following joys tenderly. The tears and joy on Romel's face the day he found out he could stay in the U.S. was very overwhelming, but oh, so joyous. This would not have happened without the support and love of all of you. Our community lives by its principles, and many benefit from it, and in this instance, Romel surely did. The Emerson-Pages are proud to share with this community the transition of William as transgender, who will now use she, her pronouns, and the lovely name of Wren, as you may have noticed in our opening song. Congratulations to Audrey, who graduated from Capitol High School last week. Way to go, Audrey. So proud of you, and so many others, but she did it in record time. If you are holding someone in your heart this morning with joy, I invite you to speak their name aloud into this community of love, that we may hold them with you. Wren. Jem. Sing again with me. We are not alone, we are wrapped up in love. We are wrapped up in love. Oh, we are not alone, we are wrapped up in love. We are wrapped up in love. Oh, we are not alone. We are wrapped up in love. We are wrapped up in love. Oh. In our last coming of age meeting, our youth were joined by Reverend Sarah Green. Oh, that's you. That's me. Wait a minute. Okay. Aren't I supposed to mention the Bridgers?
Oh, there we go.
I skipped a page. I was ready to go, though. May the arms of this community hold all of our joys and sorrows, those named and those that remain silent and close to our hearts. May we feel the grace that surrounds us and be transformed by the spirit of life and love with warmth to celebrate our joys and gentleness to soothe our aching hearts. We use this time to celebrate our many youth who are graduating from high school and beginning a new season in their lives. Join me in cheering on the following bridging seniors. Hold your applause till the end, because there's a passel of them. Audrey Richmond, Hallie and Dina Sherman, Theron Brown, Lucas Lemieux, Alexander Tate, Andrew Cole, Anna Farron, Michael Ward, and Valerie Burgesson. Yay! Huzzah! This life threshold is an important one to our faith community, and we are honored to have accompanied these wonderful people on their journey to adulthood. As our own Reverend Sarah Lawal reflects on the following blessing for our bridging youth.
Seniors, may your time in our religious exploration sacred spaces be a lens through which you can see new challenges and adventures as you leave your childhood and the perils of teenage life and launch into the new world of young adulthood. Today, your walk across our bridge symbolizes this life transition from youth to adulthood. And having grown up in this church, this ritual also welcomes you fully into the circle of lifelong Unitarian Universalism. We're pretty darn close to it. Crossing the bridge also recognizes your crossing into a new phase of life and of your faith, while maintaining that connection and those ties that have sustained you throughout your growing up years. May you always look for the holy in your life, for those feelings of yes and those moments of wonder and awe, freedom and joy. This bridge will always connect you to this place and this community. Do not forget that Unitarian Universalism has been an important part of your journey so far and has served you well. You are not starting out alone. Even as you begin this next phase of life, always know that you can cross back home at any time to remind yourself where your roots are. You come before us today having grown beyond the children you once were. May the wisdom you've gained in this liberal faith serve you well on your journey. We celebrate with you today at this time of change and transformation. May you always hear the faithful voices of this community who raised you up. We believe in you. We need you. We're handing you this dying planet in a broken world, and we're sorry that we've messed it up, but we need you to help us chart a new course, full of optimism and possibility, full of justice, equity, and compassion. May those values be your guiding light in your pursuit of truth and love. May you know that there are no others. May you remember what you learned here in welcoming differences, knowing that we are one people, one beloved whole. May you know that you are swimming in a sea of grace and feel the arms of those who love you most surrounding you always. May you trust your heart every step of the way, even when it leads you off the beaten path. May you have the courage of your convictions to follow your heart wherever it may lead. As we now walk you across our bridge, we hold the spirit of all our bridgers in the light of our lantern. Of our child dedication ceremony as a reminder that our promise to our youth never ends. To you, their parents, friends, and mentors, if you would pledge to hold them in the light of truth, in the light of love and of the Spirit, to point them toward love and justice and compassion, please say, "We do." We do. Congratulations, Bridgers. We love you, and we are with you always.
I am not alone. I am wrapped up in love. I am wrapped up in love. I am not alone. I am wrapped up in love. I am wrapped up in love. Ooh, you are not alone. You are not alone. You are wrapped up in love. You are wrapped up in love. We are not alone. We are not alone. We are wrapped up in love. 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 Oh, we are not alone. We are not alone. We are wrapped up in love. 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 I am not alone. I am not alone. I am not alone. I am wrapped up in love. 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 I am wrapped in the words of wise teachers. I am wrapped in a mystery unseen. I am not alone. I am wrapped up in love. I am wrapped up in love. Thanks for singing with me.
You may have heard already. In our last coming of age meeting, our youth were joined by Reverend Sarah Green as we discussed the overlap between justice and generosity. We shared times when we were met personally by generosity, big or small, and we named these moments. Times when teachers or family members recognized our stress and our overwhelm and chose to be flexible and to make adjustments for us to help us finish our work. Times when others went out of their way to share what they have, treating us to a special dinner and a chance to celebrate. When friends have reached out to keep us included and connected. Big moments of being awarded scholarships that will help set our course through adulthood without major financial worry. Congratulations, Veronica. Times when we were affirmed for as worthy as who we are, even in our biggest worries and fears, that we are worthy of being included and considered for who we are. And even when the moment of generosity wasn't big enough to remember, the pattern of trust and kindness was set in our hearts, and we were slowly shown that we can expect affirming, caring connections. It is important to make room in our time together to hear these direct experiences, to ask these questions and hear and embrace each other's responses. But we have to ask broader questions as adults in the lives of young people, in the communities of young people, surrounding them in their journey towards adulthood and agency. What are the foundational experiences that we want to help them receive? What do we want to give each other? What do we want the next generation to carry with them into adulthood? The Body Keeps the Score is a foundational reading to understanding the core of human well-being, even as it is brutal and honest about the depths of pain that trauma and neglect and isolation seed in us. Author Bessel van der Kolk writes that being able to feel safe with other people is probably the single most important aspect of mental health. Safe connections are fundamental to meaningful and satisfying lives, he writes. A critical issue is reciprocity, being truly heard and seen by the people around us, feeling that we are held in someone else's mind and heart. For our physiology to calm down, heal, and grow, we need a visceral experience of safety. No doctor can write a prescription for friendship and love. These are complex and hard-earned capacities, made harder with trauma and hard times. And Elizabeth Mount reaffirms that in our call to worship, we find our cues from the sun and the moon, from each parent and caregiver. We turn to one another, generation to generation. Our work is making connections, being together, finding space to let our bodies relax and feel joy, such as through chant and shared song. And I'm so glad I got to hear everyone sing this morning. The system of co-regulation goes beyond immediate emotional relationships, beyond caretaker, beyond partners and best friends. A vast majority of our connections lie somewhere between the realm of close loved ones and total strangers. Community is that bridge and the space where we find our co-regulators on a broader scale. Our experiences of community, neighbors, classmates, local economy and public services, fandoms, fellow concert goers and commuters, fellow faith community members. The circle is wider and wider all the time. And yet, white supremacy, rape culture, institutions of surveillance and punishment rob us of all of these life-giving synchronicities. And that fact feels so heavy and unbearable right now. It is hard to imagine how to stay standing, let alone put one foot in front of the other and find a way through these times. We are entrenched in cultures of violence, but the remedy is here with us. We have the power inside of our heartbreak to choose to participate in a culture of care, to root ourselves in actions that address the awful harms that so many of us are burdened with, to fight for a better future for us all. In our last meeting and in the last few days, I've been getting responses from our young people, asking them to share their hopes for what they'll experience in the next 5 years of their lives. They've said things like, visit the Galapagos Islands, study that ecosystem. They're just thrilled to see what the future holds for them, to explore new places, to get specific jobs like working in cybersecurity or ads and graphics designs, to live sustainable, organized lives, and to find themselves in places that calm them in a world that stresses them out, to spend more time cooking and baking and learning the connection between dishes and how cultures prepare the food that they make. Even in the most subtle ways, we have influence in how our young people experience themselves and their wants for themselves. We can support them in these outward goals, like learning new dishes, finding calm, connecting to the wider world. Co-regulation starts in the immediate relationships of caregiving. Community fills that gap as our circles of connection widen and widen out and to include even strangers. Our community is readying our next generations by giving them space to make that great, terrifying experience of showing up and being seen. We receive them as they are, their worries and their stress as much as their hopes for the future. And we can ground them in a deep trust in these relationships that surround them, to show them that they are fully supported, to go out and make daring choices for themselves, and to be empowered by their values. We want to raise adults who feel the authority of their own agency as much as they feel the authority of their compassion for the world around them. What do we want to expect from one another, from our time together, from the quality of our connections? Adrienne Marie Brown writes, "The idea of interdependence is that we can meet each other's needs in a variety of ways, that we can learn truly to lean on others and that they can lean on us. It means we have to decentralize our ideas of where solutions and decisions happen, where ideas come from. Do you understand that your quality of life and that your survival are tied to how authentic and generous the connections between you and the people and place you live with and in? Are you actively practicing generosity and vulnerability in order to make the connections between yourself and others clear, open, available, durable? What do we want for our children? We want them to be seen. We want them to be cherished. We want them to feel without a second thought that beauty knows them, that love knows them, and that they don't have to fight to earn that. They don't have to tie another string around their finger or set another alarm to remember to go hunt that down and make space for it, because they already have it. You are known, you are wanted. Deep in the heart of the universe, your presence matters. Beyond our thinking, busy monkey brains and our worries and stress, beyond our external accomplishments and our messy, finite lives, you, young people, you are remembered and cherished. Please take a really deep breath with me. Fill your body with breath. Breathe into this sacred space. Breathe into this beloved community filled with loving kindness. Breathe with wholeheartedness. And listen to what calls you in the silence. Receive, O mystery, the words of our heart. If prayer worked like magic, if I knew the words that would guarantee prayer's power, I know I would pray. Let life always be kind to our children. Let sorrow touch them not. Let them be free from fear. Let them never suffer injustice, nor the persecutions of the righteous. Let them not know the pain of failure, of a project, a love, a hope, a dream. Let life be to them gentle and joyful and kind. If I knew the formula, that is what I would pray. But prayer isn't magic, and life will be hard. So I pray for our children with some hope for this prayer. May their knowledge of sorrow be tempered with joy. May their fear be well balanced by courage and strength. May the sight of injustice spur them to just actions. May their failures be teachers that their spirits may grow. May they be gentle and joyful and kind. Then their lives will be magic and life will be good. So may it be. Blessed be, amen.
Every single person you see feels the same dumb pain, and everybody gets imprisoned with overwhelming shame. Relax with it, breathe out. Every day there's something tragic that helps somebody see there's real magic. Oh, it's so real. It's real magic. Oh, it's so real. I know. want to feel important, but are always filled with dread. We can't get outside the borders we've made up in our heads. Relax with it, breathe out. When you say you can relate to it, and I know just what it means, it's real magic. Oh, it's so real. I know it's real magic. Oh, it's so real. With gratitude, the written word reminds me everyone's the same. Without the fear of being alone, we would understand. It's not my place to figure out how to keep the moment still. Without the fear of who we are, we would understand. We would understand. It's real magic. Oh, it's so real. I know it's real magic. Oh, it's so real. I know it's so real.
Friends, I invite you to place your hands over your heart and join me in this final blessing. May your knowledge of sorrow be tempered with joy. May your fear be well balanced by courage and strength. May the sight of injustice spur you into just actions. May your failures be teachers that your spirits may grow. May you be gentle and joyful and kind. May your lives be magic, and may your life be good. So may it be. Blessed be, amen. Blessed are we all, go in peace. I said the wrong thing. Thank you everyone so much for being here. As a reminder, our new coffee area is open to grab a to-go cup of coffee. Be sure to respect social distancing and keep your masks on. And take about 5 minutes to get your drinks, and please join us in the north area of the grounds for our final ritual celebrating all of those graduating seniors. And bring with you your own bag, purse, backpack, chapstick, whatever you have on you for a special blessing for us all. Let's do it.